Welcome to the User Creation and Management lesson of the Symantec Endpoint Protection Cloud Product Overview training course. This is the User Creation and Management lesson. In this lesson, you learn how to configure groups and users, how to import users using Azure Active Directory, Symantec VIP Access Manager, and Octa, and how to remove an identity provider. This is the Configuring Groups topic. After completing this topic, you will be able to configure groups. Groups provide the ability to combine SEP Cloud users that have something in common. Policies are applied to groups, not to specific users or devices, so all users must be a member of a group, and all devices must be assigned to a user or directly to a group. A policy that is applied to a group is applied to all users and devices in that group. Devices enrolled by a user are always part of the same group as their owner. You can use the default group that comes with SEP Cloud, or you can create custom groups. The default group contains all the non-user specific devices and all the new users that are not assigned to a custom group. The default group uses the default security policy. You cannot delete the default group. You can add and delete custom groups. If you want to delete a custom group, you have to move all the users to a different group first. To manage non-user specific devices such as servers, add them to a group. The Groups homepage provides an overview of the groups configured in SEP Cloud. The group name, the number of users in the group, and the policies applied can all be viewed at a glance. You can also search for a group from this page. This is also the page where you begin the process of creating a new group. Clicking the down arrow to the right of each group brings up a menu where the following actions can be taken on the group: add users to the group, delete the group, or create a client installation package for the group. To create a group in SEP Cloud, you choose the Create Group menu option on the group's homepage. A Create Group wizard then starts, in which you provide the group's name and security policy that you want to apply to that group. To create a group, in SEP Cloud, open the Groups, Users, and Devices page, and then select Add Create Group. The Add menu is the plus sign in the upper right. In the Create Group dialog box, enter the group's name and, if needed, a description. Then click Next. In the next step, a system policy and a security policy must be assigned to the newly created group, as shown in the slide. A final optional step is to start adding users. A wizard walks the administrator through the process. To view the group details, click on a specific group. Included in the information presented in the group details screen are the users in the group and the devices assigned directly to the group. The devices assigned to users are not shown on this page. Also present is the option to add users to the group or the option to delete the group entirely. This is the Adding and Managing Users Manually topic. After completing the topic, you will be able to manually add and manage users in SEP Cloud. To manage your company devices, you create new users in your company account. To create a valid user account, you have to provide a user email address, first and last name of the user, and select the role for the new user. By default, all new users are placed in the default group. An employee of a company should have only one user account in SEP Cloud. In the case of SEP Cloud, Symantec VIP Access Manager provides options for deploying strong authentication that can be implemented at initial login. In general, Symantec VIP Access Manager is an access control platform that enables authentication to any cloud application while employing Symantec's Global Intelligence Network to perform a risk analysis and detect location-based anomalies. It also provides for passwordless on- and off-network authentication, fusing integrated desktop and Symantec's OneTouch VIP authentication for easy access. For more information, you can visit www.symantec.com and search for VIP Access Manager. The first step in creating users manually is to go to the Users homepage. This page lists the users that are already configured in SEP Cloud. The Users homepage also contains options to filter by user and to search for specific users. Choosing the Create User menu option begins the process of creating a new user. The first information which must be provided and is required is a username and email address. Another required step is to choose a role for the user, specifically the user, admin, or account admin role. Keep in mind that only an account admin can assign a user the admin role. Clicking Next continues the process. When you add a user, an activation email is sent to the address you provided. The user needs to accept the invitation and create a password to activate the account. The next step is to choose a group for the user to be a member of. After you save the new user, you are prompted to create another user or to exit the wizard. You can create multiple user accounts by importing user data from a CSV or MS Excel file or by syncing users from a supported cloud identity provider. To import user data, download the template in the chosen format and fill in the first name, last name, and email fields. The role and group fields are optional. If unspecified, the role is set to user and the user is added to the default group. When completed, upload the file to import user data. Choosing the Cloud Identity Provider option on this screen opens the Access and Authentication page found in Settings. After user creation, there are further options to manage the user. These include viewing the user information, deactivating or deleting the user. To view the user information, click the user in question. Deactivating a user unenrolls all devices associated with that user. These users can be reactivated. However, the devices previously associated with the user will have to be re-enrolled. When deleting a user completely, only the events associated with the user are retained. The User Details screen contains the user information and the devices associated with that user. This is the Importing Users from Azure Active Directory topic. Azure Active Directory, or AD, authentication allows SEP Cloud synchronized users to authenticate with their Azure Directory credentials when logging into SEP Cloud, so that you'll need to have a custom domain configured in Azure so that users can sign in with familiar usernames. To begin the configuration process, in the SEP Cloud portal, navigate to Settings, Access and Authentication. Choose Azure as the identity provider from the drop-down menu and click the Connect button to continue. The Azure domain must match the SEP Cloud account administrator's email domain name. You will be redirected to the Azure sign-in page, where you are required to enter your Active Directory administrator credentials and grant the Symantec Endpoint Protection Cloud application the right to read your Active Directory records. Once access is granted, a connection will be established to the Endpoint Protection Cloud Enterprise application available in Azure. Now that Azure AD Synchronization has been added to the SEP Cloud portal, you can configure it as shown below. Click Add Distribution Lists and enter the group information from Azure to import the users from a single group, or toggle Do Not Sync All Users slider to sync all Azure Active Directory users, regardless of the group they are in. Click the Sync Now button to begin synchronization. New Azure users are always placed in the default SEP Cloud group. When an AD user goes to the SEP Cloud portal to sign in, they'll enter their email address just like normal. SEP Cloud evaluates the domain portion of their email address, and if it's found to be synced with AD, it will forward them to the Microsoft Azure login page. Once the user has been forwarded to the Microsoft Azure login page, they'll log in with their Azure AD credentials. After they click Sign In, they will be logged in to the SEP Cloud portal. This is the Importing Users from Symantec VIP Access Manager topic. After completing this topic, you will be able to import users from Symantec VIP Access Manager into SEP Cloud. Symantec VIP Access Manager authentication allows SEP Cloud synchronized users to authenticate with their VIP Access Manager credentials. In general, setting up VIP Access Manager involves generating a new certificate in VIP Access Manager and then providing information from Access Manager to SEP Cloud, then providing information from SEP Cloud to VIP Access Manager. To access the VIP Access configuration page in SEP Cloud, navigate to Settings, Identity Provider, VIP Access Manager. The details are as follows. To set up VIP Access Manager, in VIP Access Manager, generate a new certificate and then export it to a .cer file. Create a Symantec Endpoint Protection Cloud application from the template in VIP Access Manager. In the Advanced Options, set Override SAML Issuer and Include Certificate that you generated. From VIP Access Manager application, get the sign-in URL, sign-out URL, and IDP Entity ID data to enter in Symantec SEP Cloud. From SEP Cloud, get the target URL, ACS URL, and SP Entity ID data to enter into VIP Access Manager. And in SEP Cloud, upload the .cer certificate file. For detailed information on VIP Access Manager configuration, please refer to the Symantec VIP Access Manager Administrator's Guide. This is the Importing Users from Octa topic. After completing this topic, you will be able to import users from Octa into SEP Cloud. Octa Authentication allows SEP Cloud synchronized users to authenticate with their Octa directory credentials. At a high level, setting up Octa connectivity is similar to other SAML configuration settings in SEP Cloud. To access the Octa configuration page, navigate to Settings, Identity Provider, Octa. Details are as follows. In Octa, generate a new certificate and then export it in a .cer file. Create an Endpoint Protection Cloud application from the template in Octa. From the Octa application, get the sign-in URL, sign-out URL, and IDP Entity ID data to enter into Symantec SEP Cloud. From SEP Cloud, get the target URL, single sign-on URL, audience URL, single logout URL, and relay state URL data to enter into Octa. And in Symantec SEP Cloud, upload the .cer certificate file. After adding the Symantec Endpoint Protection Cloud application in Octa, all users must be assigned to that application for access to SEP Cloud. This is a standard process for applications in Octa. After configuring and saving the Octa settings in SEP Cloud, user accounts are added when the user logs into SEP Cloud. There is no option in SEP Cloud to choose users to import from Octa. This is the Removing an Identity Provider topic. After completing this topic, you will be able to remove an identity provider from SEP Cloud. Third-party identity providers can be removed at any time. When removed, SEP Cloud will use the built-in identity provider. To remove an identity provider, choose Provider, Endpoint Protection Cloud in Settings, Access and Authentication. The admin will be prompted to automatically create SEP Cloud accounts for each currently synchronized user. If enabled, users receive an email and link to create an account password. If disabled, synchronized user accounts will remain in the portal, but will not authenticate or be able to log in. In this lesson, you learned how to configure groups, how to manually add and manage users in SEP Cloud, and how to import users from Azure Active Directory, Symantec VIP Access Manager, and Octa.